Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to All Suck At Starcraft 2. My name is Killjoy, and this is our appalling attempt to play StarCraft 2. Here, in this lovely screen right in front of your faces, is me playing Terran. To the left over here is Mr. Hybrid Toy, or better known as Mr. Mark Kitchen, also playing Terran. And on the far right, playing the scum of the universe, it is Mr. Fruity Sammer playing Zerg. So, we're back watching another replay of us playing StarCraft. Okay-ish. Kind of sucky. But anyway, so we decided to do a fairly big map. As you can see, this is a spawning map. It's meant for 4v4, I believe. Now, the biggest problem with a lot of the Blizzard maps on this game is that you don't have many that are split. Like, you have the free-player maps, which are really obviously designed for free people, which we are. But a lot of the other maps in these pools are kind of like team-based games. So, anyway, let's get to it. As you can see, I'm going for a supply depot double barracks opening. Mark himself is going for a barracks 2 refinery opening, and then Mr. Fruity here going for the expand before spawning pool, I believe, out there, and there goes the spawning pool. Now, you'll see that I checked this area because I wanted to make sure I didn't spawn next to anyone. Realised there's no one there, there's some rocks, so I'm not going to get attacked. There we have Fruity, obviously having a look around now with his friendly little friends there in the term of Overlords, and Mark not giving a crap and just building his base and not even checking that, you know, someone might be here. Anyway, this is a fun little game. I actually really enjoyed this match, and once I found out that when I got scouted by Fruity here, it was quite fun finding out. I was like, oh, okay, so he's to my right. So then I eventually go and find him, and I send a Marine over here and find out that Mark's there. So I know roughly where my opponents are. Anyway, we're going for another barracks there for Mark. I'm opting to just get a couple of Marines. I think possibly here comes the reactor or tech lab, one of the two. Nope, just getting a couple of Marines now, just to scout with. He's going off towards Mark's base. This was going off towards Fruity's base. And there's a random overlord in the middle of the map. So you can see cleverly keeping a overlord in some really nice places, having a lot of map spread. Still just on the two bases. You will see him expand fairly soon. There's my dude, finding that Mr. Mark is here and getting brutalized by these two guys. Did I kill him? Get close to killing him? Nah, not really. I find that there's an expansion there coming down from Fruity, and I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever. That's an expand. Better go find his actual base, and I've walked around here. And I do run in and get brutally murdered also. So that's always good. Just got the one extractor there at the moment. Just got this spawning pool going for that other expand. I believe here, actually, is his next expand. There you go. Got killed. This guy comes back. Decides not to try and expand here again just at the moment. So I now know where he is. I built down a bunker, and I obviously can see supply blocked off that corner so no one can get in there. Trying to make very, very block up the choke point so that if he does attack me, his army is not going to be as effective, especially if he's using Zerglings, because Zerglings, you funnel them into a hole, same with Zealots, they ain't so good. So you'll see two supply depots come down here. And meanwhile, Mr. Mark's already expanded much sooner than I had expanded. So fair play to him there, playing fairly on point. Got both of his barracks and an engineering bay going for the +1 already, not getting any reactors or tech labs just yet. But we'll see, 20 of 16, he likes his SCVs and a lot of them. No sign of a engineering bay yet. Probably a bit of a mistake on my half. Probably should have got a bit earlier, but you see there's a lot of supply depots down. Now just start pumping out the Marauders with getting the combat shield, getting stim and all those upgrades, pumping out the Marines. Expanding now to the gold base is Fruity, so he likes that money, pumping out all the units. And you'll see, oh, he's got himself a couple of spore crawlers. Which is interesting, because I think prior games I'd done a few air attacks, so maybe he was feeling like I was particularly going to go for it. But no, it wasn't to be. That's always a good laugh. Does that say 18? I think that says 18. It does say 18. Oh, I thought it was lower than that, but 18. Must be more minerals there. Also getting mules, firing mules down. I've got the engineering bay now, so I can build a turret. I think you'll see a turret there and a turret there popped up. Nicely defended. If he was Fruity or Mark decided to send an army through, this is their best place to attack. They would get absolutely shredded there. He's found the rocks. He knows that he can't get attacked from that direction just yet unless one of us smashes the rocks down, which does happen at some point, I believe. Also going for a factory finally, getting down that tech lab. Still just pumping out marines there. Currently nothing here. And building another barracks. The smart thing to do with 2 bases is not mining efficiently yet, but the more bases, the more barracks you want. Still not putting the maximum amount of dudes in the gas. Maybe should think about going for 1 refinery over the other, so he's not getting them and wasting the time. Queuing up these. Luckily this isn't too long a wait, but needs to learn to get another one down or just not queue them up. This expand, I've got a huge amount of dudes there. You will start seeing me pumping out more of these guys, mules, and more SCVs going over there. Getting a starport, got down my factory, currently not building anything from there. Gonna see tanks come out from that. And I play a little trick here. I decide that, you know what, I want to put down a sensor tower to try and fool the other guys into thinking I'm somewhere I'm not, and then forgetting that Fruity's already scanned me. Not scanned me, scouted me. So I put this tower down here just so I can see his army, which he has a fairly large army at this point, as you can see. He's got 36 Zerglings, which, against my base, probably isn't going to get in there very well, but we could probably knock this down. Against this base, well, he could definitely get in there and do some serious damage. You see, drone transfer there onto the gold base wants all of that money. You, with gold bases, you mine faster, so you get more money quicker. What we got tech-wise going down? We've got a Roach Warren, Fruity's favourite building, favourite unit. Getting the creep. Now we go, starting to spread the creep. Didn't expand here yet again, which is kind of surprising. Thought he was going to go for that. Sensor tower down. Also stood by this little thing so I can see these guys. And other than that, that's basically his tech for the moment. Let's have a look at his production. We can see I'm getting a siege tank at this point. Oh, I've already got a siege tank at this point, but that's what I'm going for. Just building all this stuff up, getting a couple medevacs out. These siege tanks play a huge part in this game for me in terms of just protecting the area, as you'll see later on. Oh, there we go. That's his army. Fairly good army. These guys aren't overly great in this map in terms of the amount of choke points, but if running into there, once they're in and past the choke point, they can rip everything to shreds. Oh, there's some dudes hanging around up here, still trying to find him. Just didn't realise that if you smash the rocks down, he'd be there. So yeah, max mine that out. Now I've got a couple of these. Nothing in there currently, but we'll probably look to get more upgrades and stuff. We've seen a double evo chamber that's gone down there. Probably going to get both the attack and the armor upgrades. Probably ranged over melee. Might go for that. Going for the overseer. Still hasn't taken this out yet. Thought he was going to do that a lot sooner, but oh, there we go. There's my dude hanging around, hiding there. Nothing too much going on the front now. I've got an armory, so I can look at getting. I've got weapon level 1, so my dudes have +1, but nothing else actually. A bit slow on the upgrades this game, though I do think I've got all of them except for, yeah, I do have stim and combat shield. Seeing more tanks coming out. Playing overly defensive, probably didn't need to be as defensive as I felt. These guys stood by this rock. Seeing a lot of siege tanks, a fairly big army actually coming out from both the other two. As you see, he's got 3 tanks to my 3 tanks. Marauders, a hell of a lot of marines. I've now got medevacs on the field, and we're now seeing 36 zerglings and a lot of roaches. Roaches being a fairly good unit. The only downside to it is if you've got a lot of marauders, they die fairly quickly. But I don't have a huge amount of marauders, but I do have tanks, and tanks do, well, tanks basically hit for 70 damage against them, so it's quite good defending against them because they're armoured biological. What else do we see coming out? Still just massing a huge old army there. There we go. So now this is where I start to push out to break these rocks down, because I put this guy here to keep an eye on the creep, which you'll see the creep spread starts coming across, so I have to be very wary of it. Not seeing the expand then yet. Here we go. So now we're going to see Mark finally destroy the rocks to get into this base. There I am, stood there with my dude, just keeping an eye on the map. Nice little army here. Probably should have been more aware of these rocks, but doing fairly alright. Just seen a scan somewhere. There we go, now I see the spread getting ever closer. This guy can obviously see my marine. And this is a fairly scary army that he's got going on. I mean, these guys aren't even upgraded, but regardless, that's not something you want running into your base. Luckily, I don't think he would have been getting through there. considering I had that. But if he'd broken this down and the Zerglings had got in, I'd been quite worried. So I started cracking out the Liberator, getting maybe 1 or 2, I can't remember the exact. I was going for my 3rd base at long last. Fairly behind on that. I mean, 10 minutes in the game and only just getting my 3rd. Bit sucky, really, to be honest, but such is life. We now see Medevacs popping out for Mark. That is a lot of tanks that aren't doing anything, which is a shame, but you can see where he needs to learn to rally stuff, but he's got a fairly big army going on there. We're going to see... Oh, he's gotten in there, making the mistake of... Unfortunately, he was killing these guys, which is great. Should have probably spent more time... Oh, that bad rally. That was unfortunate. Gonna get ripped to shreds. Now has the up +1 armor. Would have been cool to see those Marines actually take out these guys here. That would have been a much better thing. But he did take out a lot of the reinforcing army, so we can't really complain about that. Did an alright job. What are they at? They are 1-1 currently. Here we go. This rock's coming down. This guy accidentally flying in. Shoot. Made the mistake. Ran way too into that. But I do get a few kills on this thing before it dies. I think. Yeah, there's one. Just popping down. This is a scary army still, because I think that was most of my army that just died, which it was. So I was like, whoops, pull that back. Oh, bang, bang, bang. It's a nice thing about Liberators, they do hit fairly hard. So, yeah, made a few mistakes there not doing it, but I decided to expand there. I then fly this thing and land that there as well. This is where I think Fruity then also decides to expand there. What do we see coming on from Mr. Mark over here? Well, he's got a fairly big army, so hopefully that soon he's going to push out at some point. We can see my army not looking so hot right now. Do have a Liberator still though, which was guarding this entrance. I seized up the tanks. These are now +1, so at least they're hitting for 5 more damage there against the roaches anyway. There we go, got my expand down, basically mining a lot of money. If we look at the about resources coming, you're going to see that Fruity's going to have a hell of a lot, probably in terms of, this is supply, it's already on 200, that's in pretty quick, but he's got these guys spewing creep everywhere. Oh man, that is a big army. Oh, 1-2 as well, so he's got an armory somewhere, which is there. He's now currently getting ship and vehicle plating. Smart decision actually going for the armor, means the stuff will last a bit longer, take a little bit less damage. You've got mostly bio anyway, you don't need to do it. But going a long way around, going this way, going probably up that way to do it. Got, oh, an extra hatch there. Didn't destroy these rocks though, unfortunately. Should have definitely done that. This base is almost mined out anyway. We see that base is now going down. My little SCV dude was around here somewhere. Probably got killed off because I think I ran him into attack. Now I've got a bit of a better base set up. I don't know if I'm building anything else. No, made the mistake of that. Still only getting attack upgrades and no defenses. Now finally getting the armor upgrade, hopefully, so they go down on. Mined out pretty much my main base, mining out this fairly well. We've got a lot of gas incoming. You can see income. You can see like how quick and stuff is going in. Now building that, got this base going. Definitely felt a little bit slow on some things. Had a fairly alright army most of the game, fairly tech heavy army as well. Running in there, trying to see if he's got another expansion. Oh, all this time I'm missing this fight. I didn't even know this was going on this time. Nicely cleaned up there. Took out that extra base as well. Oh, there's me attacking his base. Moving in at this point. Only a few guys left here. Ooh, +1/+1. So, nice thing about Hydralist, fairly powerful thing, does actually wreck a lot of my army. So, like, what army I did have got pretty trashed. But I think, unfortunately, I think Fruity, that was it, because he got attacked, split between the both of us, and that was all she wrote for him. Now, at this point, I didn't know what army Mark had left. He obviously had a fairly big fight there, lost a good chunk of it, but still had. Oh, look at this! What is this, Mark? Well, you and me are gonna have words, but you can see there that needed to be there. He needed to expand. No further expansion down. So actually at this point, not in a terrible position, but I could have just bled him dry in terms of money. If he's not going to expand, we see these guys just waddling around the map aimlessly. We see my army. Got my little liberator here. These guys still won. Still probably looking at... Ooh, they won 2 now. 2 plus. So they're doing a fair bit of damage, but it could have been a little bit better on the upgrades on that one. We come trotting along here. Probably missed them, actually. Probably just about got back. Obviously coming in. Ooh, maybe not. Maybe I do attack these guys. I don't remember this at all. But they died fairly quickly, so I can't really complain too much. But yeah, they're picking up the Liberator. This is why I move out. I'm pretty sure that he's got an expand there. So I take this down, and this is my holding point. And, you know, he's got a fairly good army. He's actually got good upgrades on most of this stuff. What is this dude's at? 2-2. So overall, he's got a fairly good army. I think it just comes down to control. So he's got better armor. I'm doing less damage to him. This guy gets set up right here. Unless it gets killed, which I think it does. Yeah, I don't even got a shot off. But it doesn't matter. I seized up my tanks. Which, basically murdering all that. Stemmed in. That's the big difference. It got Widow Mines, which was odd. Now, I don't know if this was an accident by him to build these or not, but it's a shame that he did, because I don't know if he knows he has to borrow them. They wrap that up pretty quickly. Get the tanks up the ramp. A couple more Liberators. Put them here on the ramp just to stop any dudes from coming up. And then this guy comes in that way, and I'm like, oh! And that was it, really. That was most of his army gone. He's got a few dudes left, but I think he realised at this point he didn't have much of an army left. So that was a fun little game to watch. So I hope you enjoyed it very much. And obviously stay tuned more for more All Suck At Starcraft 2 coming your way. Hopefully fairly soon. But thank you very much for watching as always, and I will see you next video. Bye-bye.